It's time for another Trope Count, where we count all the traditional small-town hot cocoa romance tropes in a Hallmark Christmas movie. And the goal? Let's find the movie that racks up the most tropes. What will be today's film? Let's find out. A great Hallmark Christmas film must fit the Hallmark feel-good formula. It's a genre of film with repetitive movie tropes that we all love. We will identify the tropes into 4 trope categories: story, character, Christmas, and activity. It's all very scientific and it's fueled by hot cocoa. Today we take a look at the 2020 Hallmark film On the 12th Date of Christmas, starring Mallory Jansen and Hallmark fave Tyler Hynes. If you haven't seen it, spoiler alert, 2 co-workers who want the same promotion are forced to work together, develop an online scavenger hunt application within the 12 Days of Christmas theme, go on mock dates, and fall in love at the end. So download the scavenger hunt app and solve the clues and count the tropes that make up On the 12th Date of Christmas. Overlooking the city of Chicago, we get a glimpse of the L, the city, and a Christmas tree in front of the PPG place located in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. Mallory Jansen plays Jennifer, who's baking cookies for 24 co-workers, but not her roommate Carla, who's hoping to just get one and doesn't care if it's iced. Jennifer isn't just into the Christmas spirit, but she's hoping that the cookies will help persuade her boss Tony to recommend her for the promotion to the head gamer position. Carla believes that if her boss knew Jennifer got up at 4 a.m., showered, got dressed, and nailed her grandmother's sugar cookie recipe all before 7 a.m., that they should just give her the job. Unfortunately, the position requires more than good hygiene and baking cookies. Riding his bike safely with his helmet, Aiden is played by Tyler Hynes, who's arriving at his sister Shannon's house to help with a plumbing problem. The movie has a lot of side stories, including Tyler's character trying to fix his sister's house. It really doesn't affect the main love story or just give us any tropes to count, so I'm going to do a quick synopsis and avoid discussing it for the rest of the video. The house was Aiden and Shannon's grandfather's home. He was an architect and college professor who designed and built the house over 100 years ago. But the math of his age and their age doesn't seem to work. Aiden is hopeful that he can afford to fix the house, but is overwhelmed when his grandfather's former students want to help in the end. Now back to the main story. Aiden quickly tightens the pipe, only to have it spray water on his work shirt. His sister offers to get him a new shirt to wear, but don't get too excited, ladies and gentlemen. We are not going to get a shirtless Hynes. His niece confirms with his uncle if he's coming over to make wreaths tonight. He is, and asks them to wish him luck on his very important meeting. Jennifer arrives at her work Big City Quest with her cookie bribe. Her office is amazing with Christmas decorations, a tree, bows, ball ornaments hanging from the ceiling, all a Christmas village that should make it impossible to work. She knocks on her boss Tony's office with her cookie bribery, only to find out that Tony quit and has taken another job. Her co-worker Annie encourages her to stand up for herself and tell Alistair she wants a job since she would be the perfect person for the game creator position. Jennifer agrees and Annie takes her cookies. She walks up to Alistair's office where we see that he is not the CEO, but the creative overlord of the company. She reaches the door and decides to send him an email instead. Aiden, who also works at Big City Quest, walks into his co-worker Bill's office, who's on the phone with his wife who may or may not be in labor. Aiden doesn't seem to care or understand and just wants to go to the meeting with a new client. He's concerned that Bill's not up to the meeting and is 100% focused as Bill proclaims diapers are his specialty.
Diapers are my specialty. What?
Alistair walks over with the new client Wanda, VP of Marketing for the Devonshire Hotels, and they begin to discuss her project needs. Big City Quest builds mobile scavenger hunt phone applications. It's a very unique and narrow-focused development company. Wanda has a quick turnaround as the hotel just fired the last game company on Friday, and their event goes live on Saturday, right before Christmas. Suddenly, Bill receives a text message saying, "Baby coming," and Wanda tells him, "You gotta go." Alistair tells Bill to go home and sees Jennifer coming up the stairs. He asks her to come over and he gives her a quick rundown of the client and asks her a series of questions to see if she can handle the job.
Personal commitment?
No.
Going on a trip?
No.
Ghost in the house?
No. What?
Any reason at all you can't work with Aiden this week and help make this happen?
No. I mean, yes. No, and yes.
None of that is a factor, and she joins the meeting. Aiden proposes to develop an online scavenger hunt on the day of the event to promote the newly remodeled hotel. That morning, users will receive an alert that the game is going live and a clue pops up leading them to the event. Jennifer interjects that the clues can send users to all over Chicago neighborhoods, each with its own history and holiday traditions. They can design clues that allow people to explore the neighborhoods and end the hunt at the Devonshire Hotel. Aiden, clearly annoyed that Jennifer is making him look bad, asks about the party theme and gives suggestion on Winter Wonderland.
White snowflakes and fir trees covered in snow.
I've seen that before.
Jennifer then suggests that the 12 days or dates of Christmas, with each clue corresponding with a line in the song sending the users to romantic locations. Wanda loves the idea and wants clues in the email by the end of the next day. Alistair tells Aiden to start working with Jennifer, but he would rather work alone. He's annoyed and they clash about working together, but Aiden would rather compare notes in the morning. On her way home, Jennifer says hello to her neighbor Mr. Romano and asks if he needs help, but he doesn't acknowledge her. But don't worry, this scene will play out at the end. Meanwhile, Aiden is helping his niece Emma make paper wreaths for her craft fair and claims that they will be so rich, but Emma points out that it's a fundraiser for the school's music program. We get some exposition, learning that Emma's dad is deployed overseas and that Aiden and Shannon's father was also in the army. Jennifer's roommate Carla listens as she rants about how Aiden hates her while making cookies.
Aiden, he's all like, "Don't bother me, I'm so busy, look how grumpy I am."
This is the shot she's been waiting for, so if I blow it and I don't get promoted, her family will want her to come back home. She receives a FaceTime call from her grandma Sue, who just finished making Jennifer her ornament and wants to know if she will be coming home to give it to her. Jennifer says she won't miss Christmas at the farm for anything. Another storyline in this film is that Jennifer's terrible family encourages her to quit her job and come back to the farm. They put her under a lot of pressure because why should she live her dream? Aiden, helping his sister do laundry, discusses his hope to get the promotion to head game creator, but he needs to finish the current project and micromanage his new partner. Shannon reminds Aiden that to be considered for the job, he needs to be a people person. The next day, Aiden and Jennifer meet up in his office. The client Wanda calls to check in with them to discuss their ideas and invites them to come over to the hotel and discuss it over lunch. Jennifer tries to tell her that that isn't enough time, but she hangs up. Realizing that they only have 5 hours to put together a great list of clues, Jennifer suggests that they work in her office for inspiration. Aiden is shocked at her decorations, complimenting her it looks like Santa's workshop, smells like apple pie, and she offers him a cookie. Jennifer shows him his ideas for redesign of the app of a Christmas tree and 12 ornaments representing the 12 days of Christmas as the buttons. Frustrated that her ideas were better, he heads back to his office with Jennifer following him, arguing that they should work together. He shuts the door on her and will see her at lunch as he works in his office eating her cookies. They arrive at the hotel separately and are amazed by the lobby filled with gingerbread houses. Jennifer proclaims she wants a staycation.
Who wants a staycation now?
She gets a message from Wanda that the meeting she is in is running over and that they should go to the dining room and have lunch. While they wait, she compliments him on his bike's safety and he compliments her cookies and thanks her. She points out that this is probably the first nice thing he's ever said, and Aiden apologizes as they begin to build a working relationship. They walk into a large room filled with Christmas trees, and Aiden comments on the tree and shares a Christmas memory about his grandpa Jack cutting down a blue spruce tree for Christmas every year. He then shares another memory that his grandpa would put the tree in the front room window of the house where his sister lives. Feeling sad, he apologizes for rambling because he misses the guy. The way he phrased that means that we get our first mention of a dead family member. Jennifer makes a suggestion that the 12th clue leads to a drum line performing at the party. Because drums are the one thing that everybody wants to hear. Aiden has another memory that he's been at the hotel before with his dad who took them to the roof before they restored it. At the restaurant, the chef gives them a full menu experience, but Jennifer wants the chef to know it's not romantic for them, they are on a business lunch. They discuss some ideas for the app, and Jennifer tells Aiden that their former co-worker Tony wanted to promote her to head game creator, and Aiden is taken back as he wants that position as well. Jennifer admits that if she doesn't get the promotion soon, her family will put pressure on her to come back to Iowa. Her family is the worst. The chef serves a number of Christmas-inspired foods, including cranberry tarts, walnuts with Brussels sprouts, beef Wellington, and lobster ravioli on a small sampler plate. On the way out of the hotel, they discuss finalizing the final 4 clues for the app. Jennifer offers to work late, but Aiden has to participate in a Skype call to talk to his brother-in-law who's stationed overseas, and they agree to meet in the morning. Back at the office, Jennifer meets up with Alistair, who's eating some of her cookies. She tells him he should consider her for the promotion, and he agrees to consider her. The next morning, Jennifer and Aiden discuss the remaining clues when Annie brings over a giant gift basket from another client that is filled with cider. Aiden takes a look at the bottle of pear cider with a label of a partridge. They take an early lunch and visit the German brewery that makes the cider, and the owner invites them to join the cider and brush class where they drink and paint. Throughout the movie, they go on a series of dates, so we're going to count every time they go on a date to see if they actually add up to 12. So, here is date 1. They begin to paint a Christmas tree and get to know each other. Jennifer asks about his family, and Aiden gives us another dead family member trope, mentioning that his mother passed away years ago. His dad was in the army, stationed overseas, so they grew up as army brats living all over the world, including Chicago. His best memories were growing up in the city, spending every Christmas with Grandpa Jack. They take a selfie with the paintings to put it into their presentation for Wanda. They get close to making it look like a date, and Aiden looks at her because he's beginning to like her. They begin to look for a place to eat, and Jennifer notices a sign on Dominic's Cafe proclaiming it's home to Chicago's famous coq au vin, which is chicken cooked in red wine, and they can use it for 3 French hens clue.
French hens.
You're a genius.
They eat at the cafe and proclaim it to be the greatest lunch they ever had. And then Jennifer notices that they have French cooking classes to learn how to make Chicago's famous coq au vin. They talk to the owner about the scavenger hunt, and they would love to participate. They ask if there's something easier to make, and she mentions la bûche de Noël, or Yule log, and invites them to try and make it in their kitchen. Jennifer tells Aiden not to overfill the cake or it'll squirt out the sides, and the owner of the cafe agrees and says, "Listen to your girlfriend, she knows what she's talking about." They quickly point out that they are colleagues as they try to figure out how to make clue number 3 French hens and connect it with making la bûche de Noël. They take another selfie of the log cake, and Aiden puts his hand on his shoulder. Jennifer gives him a look because she kind of liked it. She comes home and says, "Hello, Mr. Romano," but he still doesn't acknowledge her. Don't worry, this will pay off in the end. It's coming. She has a call with Grandma, showing her the la bûche de Noël, and Grandma throws some shade, telling her it looks good for a Chicago cake. Her grandmother then points out the obvious, that she thought she would have to work all day, not making cakes. And Jennifer tells her, "You will never understand my job." At the Christmas Craft Festival, Aiden and Emma are setting up their paper wreaths when Jennifer and Carla show up. Carla asks Jennifer which one is he, and she points to Aiden. Carla responds, "You did not tell me he was so cute." Jennifer quickly tells her, "It's not like that."
No, it's not like that. He's my coworker. It's not?
It is like that. Carla doesn't buy it and pulls her over to the table. Jennifer asks how much the wreath is, and Aiden smiles and asks what she is doing here. She tells him to show her support, and Carla introduces herself and says,
"I'm here because I'm a big supporter of music, and for no other reason whatsoever."
Yep.
Carla rules. Jennifer comes home and rings Mr. Romano's doorbell. She looks in the window and sees that Mr. Romano is reading and not getting up to answer the door, so she hangs the paper wreath on his door with a note. The next day, Jennifer meets up with Aiden looking at a poster for the Windy City Skating Center. She shares a memory of how her Grandma Sue's farm had a pond that would freeze over and she would skate on it and do axles. He asks her what they are doing in the cold, and Jennifer points out that they are at a Christmas market for inspiration. They listen to carolers singing up on the housetop, and they get really into watching them sing, and Aiden begins to sing along, so I'm going to count that as caroling. They both get hot chocolate, and he proclaims it to be the best he ever had. Jennifer sees the church bell and it's painted gold and points out that could be their 5 golden rings clue. Aiden says that is perfect. Wanda texts that she can't meet today, so they have the rest of the day off, and, maybe they should go back to the office. Work. Instead of work, they go to a tree farm to cut down a tree for Jennifer because she has been so busy with work that she hasn't had time to get a tree.
I got this. Hold my purse.
She tells him to hold her purse as she cuts down the tree. While Aiden ties the tree to the car, she goes into the tree shop and sees her neighbor, Mr. Romano, who finally says hello. Turns out this is his tree farm, and his wife Rachel recently passed away and he moved into the apartment next door. He thanked her for the paper wreath and mentions that he probably didn't hear her knock because he takes his hearing aids out since he doesn't have anybody to talk to. Aiden comes in and acknowledges Mr. Romano. They knew each other because Aiden would come to the farm every year with his Grandpa Jack and cut down the tree. It's a small Hallmark world. Jennifer invites Aiden over to decorate the tree with her at her apartment. She tells him how her Grandma Sue would make salto ornaments every year because she's crafty. And then Jennifer signals to her roommate Carla that it's time to go so that they can be alone, and she makes up an excuse to leave. They drink eggnog while looking at the tree, and he tells her he has to leave to go ice skating with Shannon and Emma. He asks her, would she like to come?
If you have plans, that's okay.
No, I can come. For inspiration, right?
Right.
They go ice skating, and Jennifer's stunt double steps in and does an axel on the ice, and they are all impressed. And we get a glimpse of Santa meeting the kids on the ice. They then get more hot chocolate after having hot chocolate in the morning, eggnog, and now chocolate again. And she offers him a gingerbread cookie that she had in her purse. He comes clean and he tells her that he put in for the head game promotion as well, and admits he should have told her sooner, but he thinks she deserves to know. They give the presentation to Wanda, showing the screen of the app and all the clues, and somehow getting all that work done while going on all those dates. Wanda loves it and calls it very interactive, cultural, and Christmassy, and she invites them to attend the party and meet the hotel CEO. The creative overlord Alistair comes over to congratulate them on the presentation and tells Aiden that the client is happy and wants to talk to him about a promotion. He goes to Jennifer's office and tells her about the promotion discussion that he's had with Alistair. She's disappointed, but she seems to understand and knows he will do great. But we all know that this is the third act misunderstanding. She congratulates him and looks at the family photo and wonders, should she just quit since she didn't get the job? Aiden tells Alistair that Jennifer did most of the work on the account and tells Alistair that the head game designer should go to Jennifer. And Alistair agrees and says he made the right choice. He clarifies that he is offering Aiden Tony's job. You know, the guy we never met who was briefly discussed in the very beginning of the movie. He will announce the positions in the new year and will tell Jennifer tomorrow at the hotel. Jennifer arrives home and Grandma Sue surprised her. She thought she needed family and brought her a puzzle-shaped salty dough ornament to reflect her work and decisions that she has to make. They bake pecan buttercream cookies and Carla tries one. Knowing that her grandmother is lonely, she invites over Mr. Romano and they watch It's a Wonderful Life. He tells Sue that he has a farm and he lives here as well, and Sue didn't realize that is how it can work. The next day, Aiden takes his niece Emma on a scavenger hunt and Jennifer takes her grandma Sue. They see each other's selfies on the app while they do the hunt. At the hotel Christmas party, Jennifer shows up dressed very nicely while everybody else seems to be wearing jeans. Aiden sees Jennifer and offers her an eggnog cocktail with no nutmeg. Wanda steps up and congratulates the people who showed up and solved the clues, and then tortures the guests as she welcomes 12 drummers drumming from the local junior high. She thanks Aiden and Jennifer for developing the scavenger hunt, and everybody applauds. Alistair pulls Jennifer aside and offers her the position of head game creator and hands her a card from Aiden. On the card is a clue. We're calling birds to share our city view, and the memory of mine is your best clue. Let's raise a glass and celebrate if you would join me on
A 13th date.
She meets him on the roof where he has champagne. He tells her this has been the best 5 days of Christmas and continues to ramble. She tells him to stop talking, and they give us the final kiss. So, how many tropes are in On the 12th Date of Christmas? Let's count them. Looking at the numbers, the film where two co-workers are forced to work together and plan out a Christmas scavenger hunt with the 12 days or dates of Christmas theme, don't get along until he tries her cookies and she finds him dreamy, both want the same promotion, can't count the number of dates they go on even though we made them believe they go on 12, want to cook French chicken but choose to make the easier log roll cake, paint and drink cider, both get a promotion, and fall in love at the end. If we add up the different categories, On the 12th Date of Christmas has a total of 42 tropes. On the 12th Date of Christmas is a fun Christmas movie that unfortunately tries to pack in too much unnecessary story. As I mentioned, Aiden's side story of dealing with fixing his grandfather's house while Jennifer is getting pressure from her rural family that doesn't understand why she wants to live in the big city is just unnecessary. And then we also get the other unnecessary story of Mr. Romano, who thinks he's ignoring Jennifer only to discover he just didn't put in his hearing aids. I'm also surprised that we didn't get to see him as father return from his army deployment. Hallmark movies love a good Christmas homecoming. All of these side stories take away from the main storyline of Jennifer and Aiden developing the scavenger hunt. This is the strongest part of the movie because it focuses on them working and coming up with ideas while building a relationship. Sure, the ideas they come up with aren't great, but it's better than listening to Aiden talk to his sister constantly about the issues with the house. I really enjoyed Mallory Jansen, and with this being her only Hallmark Christmas movie, I hope we get to see more of her. Hallmark fans, of course, love Tyler Hynes, who's great in this role. His loyal fan base, who I've heard refer to themselves as Heinies, love this man, and I have to admit that the men usually aren't the reason I watch a Hallmark film, but when it comes to acting, he is one of the best. Full of traditions, dead family members, and baking cookies, On the 12th Date of Christmas has a lot of Christmas activity tropes for a story that has the characters rushing to meet the typical impending Christmas deadline. Did I miss any tropes? If so, tell me in the comments below. On the 12th Date of Christmas has 42 tropes, putting it into the number 2 slot of the movies we've covered so far, but it still can't beat Two Turtle Doves. Will the next film rank higher? We will see with the next 4 trope counts where we count each of the Christmas and Evergreen movies. That's right, the Red Truck Christmas series is filled with Hallmark tropes that I can't wait to see which one has the most. Up first is the original Christmas and Evergreen featuring Ashley Williams, Holly Robinson Peete, and Teddy Sears from 2017. How will that movie rank? Click on the subscribe button to be alerted to when that episode is released if you want to find out. I'm the Christmas aficionado, and remember, stay off the naughty list.
Either that was quick or I'm very good at this.
Hey, Mr. Romano. Did you go for a hike? I need some help.